You are cordially invited to more wedding drama. Will you be my date to these weddings? You have to say yes. You clicked on the video. My friend cheated at her bachelorette party. My 21 female friend, who's 20 female, is acting very odd. 20? Oh my god, little baby. We went out for her bachelorette party on Thursday for a long weekend. Yesterday night was the main party where we all went out with her in her little bride-to-be veil and sash. It was all going great. She was having a good time. The point was for all of us to have a good time together, but after a while, she disappeared for a good hour, and I, along with another friend in the bridal party, went out looking for her. We couldn't find her, but she texted us back that she'd see us in the Airbnb that we were staying at, and that she just wanted some time to herself, so we didn't push her. When she came back later, it was 3 a.m., and she was out of it. A little disheveled. She could pass off as partying too hard, but I had a bad gut feeling. I'm concerned. My first thought was, because she seemed closed off, that someone had done something to her and I thought I should give her space. But if something bad had happened, I wanted to help. So I spoke to her in private, asking about it, and she said someone had hurt her. Oh my god, wait, what? That's what I was concerned about immediately. I immediately said we should go to the police, report it and all that, but she very much denied it. I figured this was normal. I've heard of survivors not wanting to have it reported, and I didn't want to be too pushy since it had only been a couple of hours, so I let it be. She said she wanted to sleep, so I left her to it and checked up on her every hour or so because I felt guilty. We had planned this trip for her, but something so terrible happened. Now it's Sunday evening, and at noon, she pulled me aside to talk again. I thought she changed her mind about reporting it, and I was fully ready to help her, but then she told me it was consensual, and that she just wanted, oh no, she lied. And that she just wanted to experience something different before being tied down, and that she lied because she panicked and didn't have the energy to explain when she came back. So she did in fact just cheat at her bachelorette party. This was of course shocking and incredibly icky because this girl, number one, lied about being harmed, and number two, cheated on her fiancé. She's been problematic since her wedding planning began, making unreasonable demands for bridesmaid dresses and acting like a bridezilla, but this was a whole new low. I freaked out on her, told the other girls that while we were looking for her, thinking something happened to her, she was out cheating on her fiancé. This was perhaps not my place to make a scene, but I was just so done with her. I then told her that she had to tell her fiancé what happened by the end of the week, or we would, because his family is paying for the entire wedding that is in June. So I figure if they need to cancel and get what they can back, it needs to happen ASAP. I wanted to tell him even more so about this because the wedding so far is in the 50K pound ballpark. I might not be getting married. She just said I was overreacting like a psycho, quote, and I'm just jealous of her getting married and want to ruin it for her. But I'm usually a zero tolerance for cheating people. Likewise. However, we have an update to this story, and it was the same day but 2 hours later. So guys, I had such an overwhelming response, but some people on here thought I was oh so bad for being mad over my friend lying about SA and for being against infidelity. So I decided to expedite telling her fiancé. After reading the influx of comments justifying me telling him, I decided to email him with a draft I'd typed up earlier when she told me about this, but didn't know if I should have sent. With everything I knew of what happened and what was told, and asked him to check with the girls as well if he had doubts, with a link to this post. Oh boy. He hasn't responded yet, and I don't know what I'd say, even if he did, because I'm not very close to him. I don't want to over interfere and inject myself into his grieving process since my job is done. I've told him and I've cut her off. Ma, you're on the trip. Did you just go home? I've made it clear I'm no longer in the wedding party, and so have the 3 other bridesmaids, so she wouldn't have a wedding party if she moves forward. Oh, that's a lot. What do you guys think about her being the one to tell the fiancé? Was that appropriate or was that too far? We do have another update though. This came the next day. Some people have brought up a very valid point yesterday that my friend could have, number one, been scared to have said she was harmed and chose the cheating route. And number 2, if she was drunk, she couldn't have consented anyway. I took this, felt bad, and I contacted her. I think her fiancé left her or something to that effect. I haven't asked, but she understandably didn't want to talk to me. But her mother did call me. She was appalled that my friend cheated and said my friend spoke to both her mom and dad. Apparently, she chose her bachelorette spot because an old flame lives there and she planned on meeting him for a last time for closure or something. I only know this guy as her casual ex from high school and I didn't know her then, so I didn't connect the 2 dots. But long story short, she planned on spending the night with him before she had to tie herself down and left the pub only 30 minutes into us being there, and I didn't see her drink more than a shot. It's definitely possible she drank more after she left when she was with him, but I do feel like she was responsible for herself after leaving without telling people and then switching off her phone while everyone was looking for her. Oh my God, I would never do that to my friends. They'd have a heart attack. In this day and age, girl, I'm already thinking my friends are gonna be the next name in a true crime documentary, okay? Oh my God, like my best friend slept over last night because she's in town, and before bed, we were laying in bed, and all we talked about is death. And the unknown, and how scared we are. So, I would not handle this well, is what I'm saying. Anyways, all right, I will see you in the comment section. I'm curious to get everyone's opinion on this. Did she go too far? Did she cross the line? Did she do the right thing? What are we feeling? What are we feeling? Let me know. We accidentally invited a shrug dealer to our wedding. How do you do that? An accident. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I'm not. Why do I have to be sorry for burping? It's my editor's fault if it's left in. This happened a few years ago, but we are still flabbergasted about it. We planned to do a tiny wedding with less than 100 people. 2 weeks before the wedding, a friend we knew from high school asked us if she could bring her boyfriend. I think this is foreshadowing that said boyfriend is the shrug dealer. We thought that we forgot to add a +1 and we were very apologetic. We asked the restaurant to add 1 more seat at her table and confirmed with her that he could attend. Only after the wedding did we realize that she had been hooking up with him for a month and their relationship was not even official. We had so much fun at the wedding that we barely noticed anything. The only weird moment came when he approached my husband and started making lots of gross and sexual comments about me, the rest of the guests, and the wedding night. My husband was astonished that a person who has never spoken to him would start a conversation like that. Well, he was probably on shrugs. Several months after the wedding, I was chatting at work with my colleagues, and one of them confided in me that somebody was dealing snow in the bathroom of my venue. I was mortified. Apparently, he was doing lines in the bathroom and tried to sell it and MDMA, I'm trying to censor it as best I can, to some guests. I asked some of my guests and thankfully he only spoke to 2 or 3 people, but there was a bit of drama because he did sell the snow to the husband of a colleague and he relapsed. She did not blame us, thankfully. People my husband and I barely drink and we have never even smoked. I don't even drink coffee. Oh, well, you're better than I. People always tease us a bit for it. It is such an embarrassment for us. We cannot even blame our friend. She's a sweet girl, but she is not exactly smart. She did not know that he was a dealer, and soon after our wedding, he got her pregnant and disappeared from the face of the earth when she asked for child support. Whoa! Apparently, he insisted on coming to our wedding, probably because he thought it was a good business opportunity. Yeah! He was networking in the bathroom. Duh! So the moral of the story is beware of last-minute guests and frequently check the bathroom. That's wild. You never know what people are doing in the bathroom, apparently. All right, let's hydrate. And guess what? I have the second cute cup of the collection if you missed it. Dun, 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 dun. Oranges. My favorite, because that's my favorite color. All right, cheers. Drink some water, bitch. Stop swearing. out of control today. I don't know what it is. Even in my thoughts in my head, I'm cursing. I don't get it. Cheers. Don't betray me. I just said how cute you were. Narcissistic mother-in-law expects us to send 50 plus invitations 54 days before the wedding. I've been asking her for her guest list for the last 10 months. We already invited the friends and family of hers that we know of, but my fiancé has always been completely disconnected from her side of the family to the point that he doesn't know anyone's names. I've asked every month for any additional names and addresses we might have missed. I told her the latest date, December 31st, I can add to the guest list so I can get enough invitations printed and envelopes printed. I didn't get her guest list until March 3rd, a few months past the date, and it has over 50 people. I simply did not have enough envelopes, so my fiance and I looked through all the names and invited only the people he actually knew. Now she is furious that we didn't invite all of her third cousins 2 times removed, the son of her friend who we have never met, and people whose names we've never even heard of. I am convinced that she's just going to tell people when and where it is, and we're going to have to turn these people away. My fiance has been trying to deal with it, but she refuses to talk to him and insists on only talking to me. She feels that she can bulldoze me because I'm not comfortable arguing with her. So she's been harassing me nonstop. She keeps saying, I'll pay for everyone's plate. I'll pay for them. Biatch, that is not the problem. It's effing tacky and disrespectful. Also, you don't have a job. How are you paying for anything? So aggressive. On top of all that, she hates everything about the wedding we've planned, hates our photographer, our venue, my dress, his suit, our caterer, everything. She told me and my parents the other day that, quote, no one will take our marriage seriously because it's not being officiated by a representative of God. Okay then, you narcissistic bitch. Don't come. You and your family can have your own religious circle jerk at your church. Everyone will be so much happier. You know what bums me out? When you don't have a good relationship with your in-laws. That has to be so hard. Oh God, I get so emotional. Trigger warning, Jocelyn, to you. It makes me feel so happy, like the relationship I have with my partner's parents, and I know we're not married yet, but even the 5 years we spent together, his mother is no longer with us, but I had such a good relationship with her, and I cherished that so much. And I'm like, man, I can't imagine having that type of relationship with her. That would kill me. Oh my God, I adore her. That makes me, I'm gonna cry. We're not gonna cry. Friend bailed on hosting wedding guests. Basically, the title. My friend, let's call her Sue, and former roommate, bailed on hosting 2 of my friends, Beth and Ashley, from out of town 5 days before my wedding. I know these ladies from different eras of my life. Some of them have met in real life, but they've been introduced to each other, and Sue had offered for them to stay with her the weekend of my wedding, which is Sunday. Sue is a chronic overbooker and often bails on plans and trips at the last minute, very time blind, borderline hoarding tendencies. Living with her was really hard because of her lack of executive functioning. She still hasn't moved all of her things from my house. So when Sue told me months ago that she would be hosting Ashley and Beth at her home, I had a sinking suspicion she would bail on this because she would be overwhelmed / the house wouldn't be ready / would change her mind and want her space without strangers in it, or feel embarrassed her house is a mess, etc., and would leave my friends in the lurch, but I could not have imagined it would happen the week of my wedding. I am livid. Sue told Ashley on Monday that she was bailing, but didn't tell Beth. Ashley texted Beth about it. Ashley didn't know Beth was staying with Sue too, so that's a whole other piece of the story. Beth texted me. I called Sue because I thought she was sick or hospitalized or something, but no. Sue just feels overwhelmed and hasn't been able to get her hoarding under control, so she's now rescinding her offer to host. Neither Beth nor Ashley had budgeted for a hotel in a higher COL tourist destination city, so now they have to scramble to find a place to stay. My wedding is on Sunday. I'm just so mad at Sue for being the worst friend. I know she's disabled, but if she couldn't host, she should have never offered in the first place. And I should have told my friends not to trust her offer. That's a lot. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Oh man, that just sucks. All right, so this one has some text messages with the story. Am I wrong for wanting to end a friendship with one of my bridesmaids? So I, 32 female, have a friend, 51 female. We're not talking because of a text I sent her about being in my bridal party and her role. Am I overreacting by wanting to cut her out of my life entirely? It kind of started back in November of 2024 when she and two of our mutual friends were on a call, and she casually mentioned that she wanted to have a choreographed dance for the ceremony and that she was inviting her aunt from Indiana and cousin from Canada to my wedding. I have never met either of these relatives. It kind of caught me off by surprise, so I just laughed it off. We're having a small, intimate wedding. Our little friend group is 4 Kenyan girls, and back home, it's normal to have big weddings where random neighbors and people you don't know show up to celebrate with you. I kind of chalked it up to maybe that's what she was envisioning, but it definitely upset me and made me feel like she doesn't care and is making my wedding about herself. On top of that, my fiancé and I don't have much money. He's American, we're paying for everything ourselves, and I'm trying to stay below our budget. Fast forward to early February of 2025. I was picking out dresses for the bridal party. I sent it to her and one of our friends, who's 24 female, to get her opinion, and she said she would rather not wear a dress with a slit. So I picked a different dress. My maid of honor, 27 female, and I decided we should do a Zoom call with all of the girls in the bridal party. During the call, she asked a few questions, but overall seemed disinterested in being there. The Kenyan girl and I had a call afterwards, and she said she didn't like this new dress because she might lose weight, and then her arms would look flabby in the dress because it was a sleeveless cross-shoulder dress. And then she wanted to add a Kenyan dance to the wedding reception entrance. My face was loud at this point, so she said that she can hear what I'm thinking because it shows on my face. That is literally me. You will never not know how I feel. Also, at 3 different calls with our friends, she has mentioned that she feels like she's too old to be in my bridal party. Not in those words, but that was the sentiment. After the Zoom call, I talked to my maid of honor, and she was basically like, if she doesn't like the dress, she needs to suck it up or decide if she wants to be in the bridal party. After reflecting, she was like, actually, she has a valid concern since it's a body image thing. I decided that I wanted to have a conversation about her role in the wedding and maybe figure out if the bridesmaid role was what made the most sense for her. Maybe she would feel more comfortable as a cultural coordinator or something else where she could wear whatever she wanted and add the cultural components to the wedding that I might not know about because I grew up in the US. I like this approach. Conversation goes a long way. So this is the text exchange that happened last Thursday, and she has not responded to any of my calls or texts and refuses to talk to me. Also, today I noticed that she left the bridesmaids group chat last week. Oh boy, let's read this. Hey, I hope you're having a great evening. I wanted to touch base with you and make sure we're on the same page about the wedding and everything. I was wondering if you'd have time to talk about your role in the wedding. Please let me know when you're free to talk this week so we can set a time aside for a video call. Tomorrow evening? I have a few events for work in the evening, but have time afterwards. Do you want to do 9 p.m. New York time? Sure, I hope I remember it's 8 p.m. my time. I hope you remember too. So she questioned and wrote back on her original post, is this about the dress, the makeup, or the dancing? Nothing was said back then. My dearest little sis, I am writing this with a heavy heart. I did not sleep well last night. I have cried about this. This is not your handwriting. I know how you frame your words to me, and this is really you. Then you have changed. I know I work with words, meanings, connotations. This message I would expect from my manager when I'm not up to my role. A meeting would mean putting me back in my place. Oh, so she's assuming all this and we haven't even had a meeting yet. She's upset that you've just asked for a meeting about her role. Oh, I would have expected an informal tone, the way you speak to me, and I would have listened like I always do. I am sorry if anything I said on Friday caused you grief. You know me, I always wanted my little sister and my adopted brother to have best in everything. That hasn't changed. To help make it easier, I have decided I will have no role in your wedding. I love you and I always will. You'll always be my little sister. Be calm as you make plans for the big day. It will be a fantastic one. The call hasn't even happened. So the bride-to-be wrote, oh my God, hey, name. I'm so sorry you couldn't sleep last night. I think a lot is being lost in translation because we're texting. I think you should wait to make a decision this big until after we talk tonight. I want you to be part of our wedding. Maybe we have to figure out what you are most comfortable with. Either way, you are forever part of my family and I want you at our wedding. No answer. Hey, hon, let me know when you're free, because it's 9:28 p.m. No answer. She video called. No answer. The next day, hey, are you free to talk? And then, oh my God, the last screenshot. People who have left or were removed, and she left the chat. Yeah, I feel like she really jumped the gun on that one. I think she might have put it in her head, like, oh, she's kicking me out of the wedding. Like when you say, can we have a talk about your role in my wedding? She was like, oh, she's going to remove me as a bridesmaid. I feel like she really just jumped to a conclusion in her head. What would you guys do? I don't even know what I would do. I'll see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy with them.